that was supposed to take place at Landmark Speedway earlier this year, but then the pandemic happened. So now with everything starting back up, that money will now go to a COVID-19 relief effort of the drivers' choosing. And the drivers that are eligible tonight for that bounty are Chase Elliott, who has led a lot of laps tonight, John Hunter Nemechek, who has had a fast truck in the past few laps, and Brent Poole, who has been involved in the last two crashes. So it's basically down to Elliott and Nemechek to try and chase down Kyle Busch. And, well, we got the pit stops, and now it appears that with Moffitt pitting, Kyle Busch will be a leader when they go back to green.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you, my friend. Now, we just heard audio from Brian Burns, once again, who is the part owner and the assistant GM for the brand new team, a part of the Basketball League. Now, Bruce, I'm going to head to you, my friend, because by far out of even Wesley Outland, the man that loves to talk, part owner of here, co-founder of the CRN, having you at these kind of ball games, the first time you stepped inside the court or on the court for the Raleigh Firebirds, you were hooked.
Absolutely.
And, of course, you have the winning mindset because your wife, she is the game changer in this entire process. So credit to where credit is due, my friend. But
she's 2-1.
That's right. That's right. So this year, the Raleigh Firebirds, who going before everything went down, were 2-8 on the regular season. The India Express down in Indianapolis. We had the pleasure of heading down to Indianapolis to call the game for the Raleigh Firebirds and India Express. They're 9-2. They were leading the division, number 1 seed going into the playoff. That was going to be in Owensboro, Kentucky. Part of they're inside the sports center out of Owensboro, the Thoroughbreds kind of thing. But how excited are you about this Syracuse Stallion team, a team that was 19-2? A part of the ABA. They were beating teams by over 50 points a game. 19-2 overall, the number 1 seed in the playoffs for the ABA, poised to win it this year. How excited are you for this team added to the third New York team, a part of the Basketball League?
Well, I think it's going to be very good for the Basketball League. And it's always exciting when, if you want to call it expansion or just bringing in another team from another league I will tell you this. I feel that the Basketball League and the Firebirds, their games they're competitive, they're exciting, and it's affordable. That's, and when you put those three things together, you're getting your money's worth. You can take the whole family and everything. I just think it's just a wonderful thing. And well, in a way, it's kind of like it's almost like the best kept secret in Raleigh. I mean, these guys that play, they play hard, and they're very competitive. They're up and down the court. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think that bringing in this team, this Syracuse Stallion team, can do nothing but help the Basketball League and their product. Absolutely.
The TBL is dedicated to serving the community. The outreach efforts include daytime games for school-age students with programming and halftime centered on issues of bullying, self-confidence, and safety. Day games are sponsored by local businesses and are a tremendous platform of impact. TBL is committed to community outreach to local nonprofit organizations. Just like you mentioned, Bruce is not only kind of going under the radar for competitiveness, for excitement, and they play extremely hard. What the TBL does is a platform for either college players that really finished college and they needed somewhere to play. TBL offers this for these players that gives them opportunity to play and extend their career and sign contracts overseas. I think there was 3 just before the season was over. There was 3 that were committed to go overseas. So that's what the TBL is, and we're honored and humbled to be a part of the Raleigh Firebirds, the only broadcast team that does home and away for the Basketball League broadcast. Brandon, I'll go with you, my friend, on the Basketball League. What is your thoughts about this league and how excited are you for the Syracuse Stallions to head and the brand new team a part of the basketball league?
Well, anytime a new team enters any league, that's always a great thing. It's a sign of growth. It's a sign of development. And like we talked about, the basketball league does give those players an opportunity. Those that aren't coming out of college and don't make the NBA, it gives them an opportunity to showcase their talents with the possibility of like a G League contract or maybe something else related to that source that could lead to the NBA. So Syracuse Stallions, that means 12 to 15 more guys are going to have that opportunity to showcase their talents and improve their skills and maybe turn a few heads. So I'm completely on board with a new team in the basketball league. And I might add, it's good to see the basketball league is making progress in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, because we know they were one of the first sports leagues to actually cancel the rest of their season because of the pandemic. So obviously we were worried about what their long-term outlook was, but it's good but it definitely looks like that there is some positive developments for their long-term outlook, and Stallions being among them. So I'm very excited to see what the basketball league has planned for when they do start up their 2020-2021 season.
Absolutely. Another team that is going to be joining the basketball league. So there's going to be two brand new teams. Not only Albany Patroons, Columbus Condors, Dallas Skyline, Dayton Flight, Gulf Coast Lions, Indy Express, Jamestown Jackals, which is a great logo, by the way, Louisville Yellow Jackets, Owensboro Thoroughbreds, we mentioned down in Owensboro, Kentucky, the Raleigh Firebirds, now the Syracuse Stallions, Tampa Bay Titans, and the Tri-State Admirals. There's also another team, Little Rock Lightning. Of course, I can't find any information. We're going to get some interviews with them shortly. Not today, but here in the next couple weeks. But Daniel Moore, you had the pleasure of really kind of storming inside of the locker room to get these coaches for the basketball league a couple games this season. What is your thoughts about the brand new teams coming into the basketball league?
I'm excited. Definitely excited for the two new teams, the Syracuse Stallions. Little Rock looks like they've got a good hefty team too. A good team that might make some noise in the TBL, maybe even in their first season. But Syracuse Stallions, I have no doubt in my mind that they will be making some noise. And their guy Josh Ivey, I believe, will be causing nightmares for defenses in the TBL when the season finally rolls around. But I definitely am excited. It was fun following them, before obviously everything with CRN getting on with them. I had never heard of them, but once we actually got into it and definitely going into the games, and I'm gonna tell you, have to chase those coaches down too. They don't slow down. But once you finally get a hold of them, nice guys, and it's definitely been a nice, fun opportunity for me, and I think I can speak for everybody at CRN for in saying that it was fun while it lasted, and we hope that we can continue the next season with no pauses and see the end of the season.
The great thing about what I witnessed while broadcasting these games for not only CRN but for the Raleigh Firebirds this year, everywhere you went, the dedication to make these young kids, the fans, feel welcomed. I, for one, have a hard time stealing them away from that kind of dedication. About if they're taking pictures, the first thing they do, they don't really talk. They go to their team in the locker room for a couple of minutes, and they come out, and they're automatically directly to the fans. These kids are outstanding. Another story that we had when we first got to Kentucky or Indiana, when they played the Indy Express, we went to the Denny's over there, and there was this family of kids. There was about 3 kids, and all of a sudden, the entire team for the Raleigh Firebirds, got up, went to the little side room. They started taking pictures with these young, really kids. I'm talking about 6, 7-year-olds, and there was about 3 or 4 of them. And all of a sudden, other kids started to kind of be a part of it as well. Now, the cool thing about all this, I'm not just saying this for a little sob story, but the cool thing is you saw these same kids that we saw at the Denny's just the night before, really that day, because we showed up at 10 a.m. that morning. We drove all night. from Raleigh down to Indiana that night. During the game itself, we look back, those same kids from Denny's who've never heard of the Raleigh Firebirds, they were at the game watching the Indy Express and the Raleigh Firebirds. To me, I think that is outstanding. There's not many professional sports or athletes that will take the time. And of course, I do baseball coach myself. I played sports my entire life. I can't always say that I was dedicated every single game to make sure I made everybody welcome. I mean, because if I had a bad game, I'm usually by myself. I'm not going to lie. But what this basketball league stands for, I think, is absolutely fantastic. Bruce Barrett.
Absolutely. And you hear stories like that. It just develops a camaraderie with fans. And the next thing you know, you got fans coming, supporting you, cheering you on. And I just think that it's just a wonderful thing to see. And I tell you, you talked about the Firebirds. They've won 2 games, but one of those 2 wins that they got was against the number 1 team in the league. It was Dallas. And then I think they lost to Dallas the following day in overtime
by 1 point.
Yeah.
So by 1 point, and it was a missed 3. We got a chance to hit a jumper there towards the end, and didn't make the shot. So we were right there and sweeping the number 1 team in the league, on a weekend there. So just fantastic basketball, and I see a lot of promise in this league. I think this league is going to be it's going to be really something as it moves forward. And again, bringing in other teams, that's just a fantastic thing for the league.
Right. Yeah, it may not have the NBA. It may not have the NBA logo and the persona and the clout that the NBA has, but you can rest assured that it's good basketball when you watch the TVO.
And the good thing about all this is that game that 2 games, back-to-back games you mentioned, Bruce Barrett, against the Dallas Skyline. We won with seconds to go by a 3-point shot. Okay, we won by 1 point, right? And then the next day we hit a 3 to go into overtime, and then in overtime we lost by attempting a 3. And we lost by 1 point. And so that's literally 2 points kind of dictated where the standing was going to be. But what the Raleigh Firebirds did, they were in every. I think they got blew out the first game against Indy Express, and Indy
I think that was about the only one.
That's it, exactly. Everyone else was either by 5, 8, kind of in that range all season long. They were close every single game,
or just 1 or 2.
It was unbelievable. And so what the basketball league stands for is outstanding with the young adults. It gives the opportunity for players to extend their career moving forward and have the chance to go to sign contracts overseas and a part of the G League, the Gatorade League. So you just never know. That's what the basketball league stands for. But it's just good basketball, right? It's just good basketball. And the reason why I say that, because you're on your feet the entire game. I mean, even as broadcasters, we're standing up as much as we can because it's so exciting. You never know. And so I tell I'm trying to think of I tell my players if they miss an air ball, I usually don't like to call it air ball, but I'll call them out the next game. And but I let them know before I do that too. So it's one of those situations. It's just a good league. David Magley and his wife have done a fantastic job of just competing every single game with these programs. And Brandon White, did you get a chance to call any games this year with us? The part of the
I did call
the
one
basketball league
game with you guys. Yeah, I did get a chance to call 1 game with you.
Well,
not with you, but with Wesley.
Well, good deal, because I'm thinking to myself that I'm not sure you called a game if I can't remember, so I apologize if I couldn't remember. But we had a chance we were signed on before everything went down. We were signed on to take a trip down to Owensboro, Kentucky, to be the only broadcast network a part of the entire playoffs. The doors are going to be closed to outside fans. We are going to be there.